What are you doing looking at a fish tank? I'm here at Mandalay Beach Club in Clearwater Beach. I have been contracted for my superior creativity to come up with a exhaust system for a computer server closet thing. It was a custom built closet. Venting was kind of an afterthought. And the problem is it's also a conference room. So they didn't want to leave the doors open because it was loud. They didn't want to close the doors, obviously, because it was going to overheat the servers. So I came up with an idea of just venting it up and out, but then they were like, well, where's the heat going? I said, into the conference room. They're like, well, we already have a hard enough time with the conference room cooling off. So I said, okay, well, then I'll come up with a system to vent it into the attic. And it's only taken me about a week and a lot of mind-boggling to come up with this idea. So, here we go. These are the materials. I've got a razor knife, screwdriver, zip ties, cordless screwdriver, pair of side cutters, drywall saw, DeWalt case with screws in it. I've got some draft blockers, which I'll explain in a little bit. I got 2 of those. Got my thermostat, which is old and used. Got a couple 4-inch ties. That's what they're called, plumbing straps, whatever. My flexible transition duct, which is basically for a dryer. I chose that because of the reflectiveness of it. Got my Super Duty 200 CFM stepper motor, I guess. No, that's not a stepper motor, but anyway, I got that on the internet for about 30 bucks. And as you see, it plugs right into my power supply. I took this power supply out of an old broken computer that I had laying around, and I plugged it in, and I realized that the motor didn't work, so I had to put a new one on. These wires here are what actually turn the unit on. This is what I'm going to be hooking up to my thermostat. Here's the cabinet, the servers. You see I got 2 ventilation holes cut on the bottom. There is nothing here, unfortunately. I told the carpenter to cut some holes back here for me, but he didn't do it, so there's not going to be any ventilation. And of course he cut that one way too big. I wanted it 4 inches, and he cut it like 7. I forgot my brackets, so I cut the perforated metal and made my own bracket. As you see, it works just as good. Okay, here's my fan. Now, I didn't like the way that I mounted this, and I did remount it because I realized that I was losing some air on the back side whenever there was back pressure on it. I took the thermostat apart, put the base on the wall. Doesn't have to be level because it's not mercury. Put your wires up to the Y and the red terminal. That way it comes on in cooling. When you put your thermostat cover on, make sure that it is in cooling. Otherwise the thing will never turn on. And 3, 2, 1. Click. It's on. Oh, wait a minute. Now I gotta plug the power in. There we go. Alright. And my little fan's working. This is an old bin that I had in my truck forever. I didn't use it, but I needed a register box because I was losing some air. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut my adapter into my box, put the box down, and as you see, we've got airflow. Now I'm going to take the other one with the damper on it, and I put the damper on it because I didn't want the attic air, the hot attic air, to come back through when the unit shut off. I take my drywall saw, cut a hole, put some tap cons into it. Luckily there was a beam up there for me to screw into. Put my dryer vent tube on, and I put some mastic on it here to seal the whole deal. When this stuff dries, it dries hard as a rock. And this is my completed project. Doesn't take up much room. It's controlled by a thermostat, and a 200 CFM fan should be plenty to vent this cabinet.